Hello, welcome to this video on beginner setup for the MJX X101 quadcopter. I'm shooting this video to inform beginners of a few items I encountered and figured out by mistake. Note that I have only been flying for 1 month and I'm flying my second MJX 101 as the first flew away on us. I assume that you've been able to unbox and assemble your quadcopter according to the directions provided. They're written well enough to get you started. I won't review the rules and safety instructions that you should already know. First thing I'd advise you is to purchase additional batteries for your quadcopter. This quadcopter comes with a 7.4 volt battery with 1200 milliamp hours. Essentially, if you use a battery with less milliamp hours, it won't last as long. I purchased this 3-pack with a 3 charger for about 35 bucks on Amazon. When assembling your remote control, take note that the sticks that go into the controller here, they don't fit snug and they fall out easily. When they do fall out, you end up with a controller that has no sticks. It still works and functions, however it's not as easy to use. We're going to use the remote today in mode 2. To use mode 2, these two items here, these two buttons on the left and the right, should both be down to the left. And then press this button here on the bottom to go to mode 2. If you see there, it's in stick mode 2. In stick mode 2, the left stick up and down will control your throttle, and it will also spin the unit left and right, going side to side. And on the right side, it'll lean the unit forward, reverse, it'll lean to the right and lean to the left. I also advise that you set the unit to beginner. This unit's in beginner mode right now, and you can tell that by the empty circle here on the bottom. If you press this button here, when it's a half circle, it's on intermediate mode. When it's a full circle, it's on advanced mode. We're going to leave ours in beginner mode. And the next item here is we're going to use this throttle limit gauge we're going to move this all the way to the left. And what that's going to do is make our quadcopter as slow as possible so that we don't lose control of it right away. We've got good control. And as you become more familiar, you can put it in a faster speed. So this next step is very important, as we suffered mightily with our quadcopter. When it would take off, it would go up in the air and then it would either lean forward and start flying forward or lean to the right or to the left without any of our controllers doing that. It made it very difficult to fly. We only learned about this when it was so bad that when we would apply throttle to the quadcopter, it would completely flip over to the left. What we found was a YouTube video showing us how to recalibrate the quadcopter. The first time we were using the trim buttons, the trim on here to make it fly forward and backwards, and that wasn't really helping us too much. So we learned this. Rather than simply bind the remote after turning it on by going up, down, what we're doing now is we're going to recalibrate the quadcopter every time that we rebind it. We found that this helps us make it fly straighter and hover better rather than letting it work off the previous settings. So to do this, I'm going to lower the lights a bit so we can see the LEDs. We're going to turn our drone on. And you'll see there it's blinking, waiting for the remote to bind it. Now we're going to turn our remote on. Okay. We're going to move the left stick up and then down once. And now that's associated the remote with the quadcopter. However, you have to do it again to bind it. We're not going to do it again. What we're going to do is we're going to move the right and the left stick down to the right, and you'll notice the quadcopter flashes, and then when it gets a steady light, then it's completed. And that's how you recalibrate your drone. It's very easy to do, and I recommend doing that every time that you either bind your remote or when you replace your battery. Once you do that, you can apply your trim. I advise, so that in mode 2 here that we're using, these two buttons are your trim. This is forward and backwards. If it's moving forward, set it backwards. If it's moving left, set it right. If it's moving right, set it left. I would advise setting all your trim to 0. And that'll make sure that your unit is calibrated appropriately. If the drone is moving on its own, use these 2 buttons again to move the trim in the opposite direction that it's going, or drifting. And remember that this unit is a toy. It's not a super space device. So if you enjoy flying it at a limited height and the distance, you'll have a lot of fun with it. If you try and reach the skies with it, fly it into the clouds or fly it over lakes, etc., you may quickly be in the market for a replacement unit, as you'll risk the chance of losing it. We're currently working through using the camera here. We have it set up, but we haven't successfully taken photos yet. And the mobile app, as well as we're learning how to confidently utilize the one key return functionality. We haven't tried that yet. When we do, we may post more instructions there as well. So please let us know if we missed anything, or if there's anything you learned the hard way with your first drone quadcopter that we can share. Thank you.